very comfortably on the rights of songs I've written even in the 70s, because still 70 years after my death, my estate will collect royalties. Now in Nigeria, I must admit, I have hardly collected any royalties in the last 40 years. And in 1984, the Musical Copyright Society of Nigeria, MCSN, registered as a company 4 years before the Nigerian Copyright Commission was established. And MCSN had done a good job, had collected for all the musicians internationally. They signed up with all the collective societies in the world. As an example, AMRA, BMI, AFCAP in America, the major collective society, they have a couple of those in America. They pay, whenever a Nigerian artist is being performed, to MCSN because of the bilateral agreement. MCSN has tied up the whole world. That means if my record is being played in London or on Kiss FM in America or in Japan, etc., they collect, they pay through MCSN and they pay me. They take a small fee for handling the affair. Now, I think 2 years ago, the Nigerian Copyright Commission said whoever wants to apply for a collective society should come forward. So 2 companies came forward, MCSN and COSON. MCSN came with 18 years of audited accounts, a catalogue of nearly every Nigerian musician. Every musician in the world whose music is being played in Nigeria, MCSN should collect and pay their rights internationally back through those collective societies. COSON was registered. No accounts, no nothing. We were absolutely astonished. And, of course, MCSN went into court, and the court actually ruled, I can just read it to you here, that the Nigerian society took step, obtained a court order against MCSN, and NCSN was being ordered that they should let the Musical Society of Nigeria collect on behalf of artists. This is called artist assignee. If you are a lawyer, I can say to you, please collect my royalties on my behalf, and you can pay me. That is legal. But they have not been yet registered as a collective society. So we went to the house.
COSON has not been registered.
No, MCSN has not been registered. But they can operate as artist assignee company. Now, I asked my management company in America, if I want to use COSON to collect, they investigated and said, no, we cannot pay to COSON because we have a bilateral agreement with MCSN. That means COSON can only collect internationally through MCSN. And MCSN won a court case against COSON of 120 million naira because they collected on behalf of musicians of MCSN like me. I've never been paid by COSON. I'm an MCSN artist. So that is illegal. So we went to the House of Assembly, and here I was being given an invitation for next week to come to a hearing of the Committee of Justice where it will be investigated. Why did the Nigerian Copyright Commission not register MCSN?
Is there a possibility that Nigeria Copyright Commission can register 2 collecting bodies?
Yes.
You go ahead.
It's a very interesting question. Let me tell you why it is interesting. The erstwhile DG of NCC, Adonwa Adowopo, was a lecturer in LASU, and he was a proponent of multiple collecting society. The last time we went to Abuja to see the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Adoke, Adowopo was there then as a DG, and one of his students, who happened to be a member of MCSN, challenged him. That, sir, he brought documents published by Adowopo that there should be more than one collecting society. And Adoke asked him what he said. Is it true? He said, yes, sir. And then he jokingly said, then, if that is the case, you have committed classroom suicide. And then he now asked him, which part of the regulation or the law did you base the sole registration of cousin? He cited the relevant section. And then the AG asked him to read it for him loudly. And he read to a point where he now said that NCC may. And the man said, stop. He latched on the word may register more than one. Oh, these things are on record.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a situation whereby IP, intellectual property, is like a physical property. The reason why MCSN has been winning all, that's about 5 cases so far, against NCC, against PMRS, against COSON, is that each time is a recurring decimal. Try dividing 100 by 3, you get 33.33, is a recurring decimal. The court has always asserted that IP is something that people own, and you cannot force anybody to administer another man's property.
Okay, but one would have thought that the collection of royalties and copyright issues will bring together, everyone in the industry. Does it really matter who collects on behalf of who?
It does, a great deal.
Okay.
Let me just quickly give you an example. Do you remember PMRS in Nigeria? PMRS, Performing Rights Society of Nigeria. It is clearly stated by COSON that PMRS collapsed into COSON. For you to collapse into COSON, that means actually the PMRS died. What killed PMRS? NCC refused to renew the license of PMRS. Why? The audited account of PMRS showed that typically the collecting society keeps 30%, the artist keeps 70%. And they found out that PMRS as of that time were not giving the artists all their due. The payments were irregular. And when they queried them, I have a copy of that query. When they queried them, they now said, oh, what happened was that they used some of the money for infrastructural development. And can you imagine you checking into a hotel? And then, the normal thing is surrender your money to the hotel so that for safekeeping. You now give them 100,000 naira for safekeeping. And when you come to collect it, they now tell you that, that new TV in the room that you occupied, we actually use some of your money to buy it. Please don't worry, we'll find money and replace it. You're not supposed to touch that money. It's the artist's money. You limit your expenses on the collecting society to the percentage agreed. So because of that, the license of PMRS was not renewed. Now you're telling me the same PMRS collapsed into COSON. All the directors of PMRS are now the directors of COSON. That same bad blood has now gone into COSON. So the artists should be aware and made, given the information that they have the right to.
So what's the relationship between PMAN and MCSN?
The relationship is quite simple and straightforward. The reason is, PMAN is the umbrella organization of the artists, of the authors. And then part of the PMAN constitution clearly stipulates that the interests and rights of the artist has to be protected. So it's a very close relationship. As otherwise, you just sit back and watch anything happen to members of PMAN. And that's what we don't want to happen.
No.
Can I mention here something? I just found the relevant concerning the Musical Copyright Society of Nigeria took steps to address the perceived injustice and obtained an order of the court in suite number, etc., MCSN versus NCC, directing the Musical Copyright Society of Nigeria, MCSN, to continue its operation without any disturbance from the Nigerian Copyright Commission by the Director General and officials of the Nigerian Copyright Commission. NCC refused to comply with the said order, and that's what the House of Assembly is going to investigate now. Why did you raid them? Why are you continuing to disturb them despite